Then it's the decision of whether or not I've learned. Maybe because my dad couldn't shake it. Maybe because he died. If he would have just listened to me and quit like I begged him to. In and out. Just like that, it's gone. Hate that I came, but I'm glad that I won. Hate that it came, but I'm glad I won. Jesus. Until you come back, devilish one, I'll remain free for another son. The authoress. Mr. Nyannis knocked on the front door. No response. He walked over to the side door and knocked. No response. What he was doing there? Unknown. A homeless man at a crack house? Who knows? Curl finished her cleaning and left, remembering to lock up all the doors. She got into her Jeep and sped off, as Mr. Nyannis watched with awe. This seems awkward to me. I didn't grow up with the poetry pocket. To think about it, I really grew up. The nausea comes in disturbing hiccups, of instances here and there. What I could have been keeps tabs on the self-worth that lives inside of here. I know now what the world loves, especially when it's time for war. People to ruin, folk to floor, and memorials on who they were in this world. My poetry pocket consists of the countless ideals of a sister, facing the walls of whoredom, and the countless ideas of the system. I cry on contact now, whenever I think about how I rely on his power now. God is too strong in the fall. I think about going back to school, like that's cool, but I gotta drop out anthem to my steps, a funky's flow to my depth, the medicine for drug use and abuse for more than my health. Lord knows the times I stepped on myself, looking for my heart and wealth. I'm scared my dreams might come true, like this book getting published, holding up to its numbers, the extras that hold tight to luxurious slumber. The poetry pocket opens at 6:30 p.m., closes no later than 10. The youths come in and ace the life exams that cram them. The time is now 5:45, and the suspense is thick. Who will perform? Who will rearrange so someone else can experience it? I introduce myself as the authoress, the creator of this bind, bringing moments of my life to life until we meet again. Amila. Mirror, beloved. What about this number? I was saving it for me, but you might as well wear it for me. Mirror. To the pocket? Miles, please. As long as you perform, you could wear these. We got 20 minutes, girl. Make that 15. We have to run by my house. I forgot something. Oh, no. Don't wear that eyeshadow. It's a mistake. It bags your eyes, then it hides your face. Here, wear the light pink. It's funk. It's far from dark, but it's so plush. Amila. Mirror, you're a true bridesmaid. Want to know how I know? Mirror. Oh, I'll never forget that one. Let me clear my throat. Here I go. Because a groom will never find true beauty over his wife's eyes. Mila. Oh, that quote glows. It floats. Say it with explosion from the gut. Mirror laughs. Mirror. Girl, you crazy. Ready to go? Mila. Yes. The Poetry Pocket. Tonight, hot. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Bring your ears and your hearts. The stage is set to perfection. A hot spotlight set at dim. A packed house of 40. The speaker of the house is in. You know when choral takes the stage, it's an instant blessing and relief in one. That this place is really here, it's so hot. Choral Roads. Yes, everyone. Yes. Applauding her audience. You are all most welcome. Yes, yourselves. Take and have a seat. One and all, yes, yourself. Welcome once more to the Poetry Pocket, where we aim to please your poetic needs through song, through beats, through tapestry. Welcome, where your voices are harmony. It's so good to have you all back again. I see some familiar faces in the audience, as well as some new ones. Please let us into your light. A few people in the audience stood. Hello, everyone. My name is Zakai. Excuse me. Greetings. My name is Arlen, and I am Artist's father. Hi, people. My name is Marbles, and I have some poetry that I'd like to share with you. The acceptance was phenomenal. Absolutely bonkers. I mean, zoinks. Mr. Nyannis showed his love. He always gave a little extra for the newcomers. And choral continued. Tonight, we'll see original material from Mira, Amila, A.E.V, Mr. Nyannis, artist, First Pocketeer Marbles, and myself. If there's anyone here tonight feeling free to express themselves, If there's anyone here tonight feeling free to express yourself and are a little shy to say something now, feel free to let us know before the end of the show. You are most welcome to our stage. As always, we perform with love. There is no hatred or violence allowed here at the Pocket, for we bless ourselves as we begin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present you to our first performer of the evening, Mr. Nyannis. 20 minutes in, Mr. Nyannis. Ark walks slowly to the stage, his presence paused, and he begins. Being homeless has its advantages. It has its downfalls. It has its needle tracks and its alcohol. Ark rolled up his sleeves to show the tracks from his heroin use. The hokey pokey, I call it. You tie your right arm up, you pull the needle out, you fill it up with juice, then you tap it all about, you stick it in your arm. Pause. Ark shouts. He shouts. He screams hard till his throat barks, till the lining dries and weakens his mouth. The itch comes in and causes the cough, but by this time, he's on the floor in sloth. Speak to my sobs, he cried. Speak to them, he shouts to the crowd. In a jerking motion, he rolls over on his side, spit pouring from his mouth, tears screaming down his face. A heat of himself boiling against his skin, as his saliva and eyes meet for the first time, and his forehead bumps against the floor. He continues, I know who you are. You are in love, and it erects me, and it feels so good. Ark motions his hands down. He begins feeling himself. He forgets the audience. Oh, I know who you are, Mr. Tickle. He feels his pleasure nerve peak. In the center of his groin, there, a cost that sends him into a seizure. He implodes. Ark violently shakes, knocking the microphone off stage, kicking off his shoe, which hits Arlen, artist's father, in the face. Ark stops in confusion. Half the audience was in tears, the other half on their feet in disbelief, staring blankly, eyes glued to the scene. Pause. The silence banged out for 4 straight minutes. It killed bystanders that listened, hearts heavily stomping. Stomp, 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 stomp. Ark looked over at Arlen holding his shoe. The sole flapped in the wind like garbage windows. The shoe reeked of children playing outside near crack pipes and gang violence. The laces were shredding in every direction, blackened by dirt and battery oil, trapped in several cosmic knots. There was absolutely no way out. An emotion similar to swings at the park, one continuous fall back, only to relax at the push of the next start. Thank you, sir. These are my good shoes, Ark ended. Ark, drained of pain, walked toward his seat and instead sat on the floor to an ulcerous uproar. He felt nailed to the floor, head bowed. He couldn't move. He didn't make a sound. He crouched in toward his mouth with his knees tucked under his jaw. He began to rock to his acceptance, to the outpour of respect. The tears ran stronger than his blood flow. His stomach acid burned up to the neck. He still didn't lift his head. He sunk harder into his chest. It stung hard and fresh like a flame birthed through the flesh. Curl gently placed her hands on him, bent over him in deliverance. It was like a revival with shouting redemption and solution. He felt her tears and slept, and stopped his very breath. It came an opening of why he swept. Acceptance, the question that had no effect. Oh yes, the pocket came alive. It tore through Amila. It broke artist's pride. Mira's pain left without saying goodbye. A.E.V wept, and he didn't know why. Trow stood with his fist held high. As the acceptance continued to pour through the night, it would take 30 minutes to break through the fight, to prepare a new plane for our poetic insight. In darkness, to release our grain against the flow of life, placing Ark Nyannis where he riped, front and center by the mic, Cora recaptured the stage, heavily inspired in her own way. Art, that was truly, it was. It lets me know that we carry more than money in our pockets. We carry more than lint. Even when it's empty, we still have our souls to spend. Several folk in the audience left. Some went to the restroom. Some had to catch their breath, honey. Others stayed happy and content. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Mirror. Excuse me. Coral left the stage. Mirror approaches attentively, ready to promote the same. Oh, she's here. She probes the audience for a stare. She looks at the men from her underwear. She turns to the women with this whorish flair, but looking down on them. Two grown females kissing and touching. Is that what you call disgusting? Huh? Say what? Mira asks the audience, and they repeat. What? Prostitutes on the street know it like me. It's not the pimps, it's the reach. Mirror reaches out toward the audience. What kind of love can they instill in me? If they're speaking to me from their bed sheets, what kind of man could love me if I'm looking for the bitch inside of his heat? I'm going to tell you like my mom told me. You live for what you believe. However love finds me is however I'm going to live in this heat. A man could have done this to me. Then again, a woman could have too. It's hard to tell when you're true because you're walking toward what's right in front of you. Mira takes a young breath. It used to hurt, her not liking men. It made me feel insignificant. It made me feel like I had to choose between my mom or some restriction. Deep down, though, it does exaggerate the truth. It pulls everything into what you're just trying to do. You end up looking out instead of looking through, stopping where your sight restricts you. All this time, and it's just getting through. Pause. My mom is gay, and that's cool. She raised me around her moon. My mom is gay, and that's cool. She raised me around her moon. She accepts the father as I do, and she treats my father with respect too. My personality is proof that I am what I was raised to do. To respect, to succeed, and to be true. To take life before life takes you. At the end of the night, whether I like girls or guys, it's not up to you. It's my power to choose whether to accept or to challenge anew. And I thank you. Mira bows and walks off stage. Charles' heart just melts away. Amila lost all her eyeshadow, just wiping her tears away. Mr. Nyannis, whoa. Ark applauded with coup. He gave her respect from the crate, from a real struggler's point of view. Mira sat down, with her sight open. She could hear the love. She smiled and it shined. Cora Rhodes approached the stage. Miss Mira, you are beautiful. You helped define what it means to be alive, and we thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you young artist. Artist. To me, it's all about fresh tees and Nikes, my boys and making the green, the high life, and in between. How fast I can get out after I get mine. How clean I spread out while withstanding the thugs of time. Growing old isn't part of my grind. Neither is being homeless and filled with pride. Artists looked down at Ark, sitting in the front row. Ark shamed slightly, but he shook it off. Those I idolize, they don't reach 25. It's a fire to survive the danger of this life. The money my pops make in a week, I can make in one night. Artist pulled a cigarette out his pocket and lit it. Arlen's heart nearly leaped out of his chest. Artist spat on the floor, trying to know exactly what he was in for. I'm 16 and just full of life. Can any of you imagine the success, the depth or the intelligence, the message I represent? Trial stood up and said, but what about the deaths, the suicides, the debts? What about the violence and the guns? Is that a part of your message? What about where you live in your head? Has that part sunk in? Or are you too absorbed in your cigarette? What about your father sitting right here? Do you honestly have the heart that you'd sit here and tear us apart? Or are you the type to attack the sweet spot your cradled head in your father's arms. Where you're headed